Social media is currently evil. Nazis, trolls, political manipulation, filter bubbles, blatant lying advertising for money. Authoritarian nationalists in the Philippines, India, and Brazil were elected because they were the first party to have paid trolls work directly for them to disseminate lies about the other party, as Facebook was their only source of internet, and now all parties in India are doing it because it's the only way to win. The Rohingya Muslims were slaughtered because the Myanmar military spread all sorts of lies about them, which led to violence and genocide through Facebook, which is their only source of internet. Zuck has in many internal emails said, blank would be good for the world, but it's not good for business, and there lies the problem. I take that back. Social media isn't evil. Corporations are evil from their very inception, like I said in my 4-part video on the history of corporations. They're run by corporate execs, filled mostly with bro culture, who are tone deaf to anything but money and are lauded as geniuses to begin with, and are now having to figure out why they're so hated once everything goes to hell in a handbasket because they mismanaged our greatest source of communication. Facebook and other companies are now monopolies and control a huge aspect of our lives, with WeChat and WhatsApp used mostly in foreign countries, along with Instagram and Messenger, also owned by Facebook, as the 5 top social media platforms to have more than 1 billion subscribers. The corporate giants own it all, and do not want what's good for your mental health or ability to remain informed, but on what can keep you on their website longer and can make them more money. To do that, they show you only what you want to see, or what they've figured out you want to see, and never let you see anyone else's point of view, creating a completely insular internet bubble, and the ability to see someone who disagrees with you as human becomes very difficult while people get locked in bubble cults, believing the world is 100% black and white, like the bubble says, and anyone who steps outside that line is evil. YouTube is another company that stopped being about the members and instead made you the product. Their algorithm was changed to keep people online more, so they would see more commercials and begin automatically showing videos that progressively got more and more conspiracy theory related, shocking and clickbaity, until Alex Jones with 3-hour-long shows began making tons off the platform, and anything anti-SJW and pro-white cisgendered straight male started making a ton on there. In 2013, YouTube ended video responses, something that helped to build it and allow smaller channels to actually get followers without perfect production quality. It allowed conversations and communities. They cited that only 4 in 1 million video responses were clicked and therefore not useful, completely being either ignorant of how they were used or just as a way to stop spending money on the small creators in favor of the big and corporate moneymakers. Video responses were a communication device, and quickly became obsolete after the videos' views declined, and many videos like ones of funny animals or fail blogs didn't need video responses, and YouTube had recommended similar but already popular videos next to them like it to click on. Had they just purged video responses 6 months to a year after posting, they would have seen a much higher use and perhaps made them not available for certain categories. TikTok is a Chinese company and is now taking the internet by a storm, but I trust it even less than I trust American companies. Every time Congress calls Zuck and other platform owners, they promise to do better, but people in charge now also aren't even close to cyber or internet experts, so he's able to dance around and they give him a stern talking to, and we end up no less secure than we were before. So many of us began looking for, or if we had web skills, creating alternatives. Most are still very small, and some have crashed and burned. But for many, they were still based on corporate profit motives and would either end up doing the exact same thing that the big companies would do to remain competitive or fold. A few tried a different model. MeWe.com, which I'm trying right now, feels like a hybrid of Facebook and Instagram, or maybe Tumblr, which is very groups focused and makes no money off your data, just off of storage, business accounts, and emojis. It so far has been a fun experience, and no, I'm not going to drop my own docs there. However, it's still corporately owned, meaning it could end up getting bought up by another company in the future and end up just as bad as the others. So what to do? At the beginning of the internet, as we know it, everything was run on hyperlinks. A famous Iranian political blogger, Hossein Darakhshan, in 2008 was arrested and let out 6 years later at what appeared to be at random. He tried going back to blogging and found himself in a strange new world. The hyperlink as a way to share things we the people controlled was dead. The hyperlink had been democracy in action. You would also stumble on new things you never knew you didn't know, like a treasure hunt. Now everything's cultivated and handed to you, so that search and sense of community of learning, exploring, sharing, and controlling data as you see fit died. When Hussein tried to start up his blog again, the most prominent blogger of 2008 could barely get followers except for some who stumbled on him by sheer luck and happened to remember him. He was a shell of his former internet self. He went from the top to a nobody by being off for 6 years, and the internet changed from a shared democracy to a cultivated oligarchy that decided you didn't know what you wanted to see, but psychologically told them you did. Well, several groups have come together, once separate, and now are collectivizing into what is called the Fediverse. This is a set, open-source social networking system and protocols that social media platforms can and are being built off of. It uses the same kind of methodology as cryptocurrency and uses public keys to control your privacy that only you can access and own. At first they were all working separately, but now their stream feed works like a Twitter feed, and you can see postings from people all over the different platforms. They all started from Kickstarters and worked their way from there. There are many, some better than others, but they are fast growing as people work together to make them better out of either Kickstarter money or out of passion. In the next video, we'll discuss how to join one of these federated sites. So thank you so much for joining me on my podcast. I'm sure there was nothing controversial about this, and everyone will happily get along in the comments section, which you can do on the YouTube version of this video, or my Facebook page, After School Democracy. Link in the show notes. Just a reminder that I'm Anubis2814 on YouTube, and I have over 500 videos on different topics that I've made over the past 10 years. Please subscribe, and if your podcast site has the option, give me a like or review. If you think what I have to say informed you, consider supporting my Patreon. I'll be doing this podcast weekly and try to get it out on the same day, so I hope to see you here next week, ready to be filled with new ideas. Take care. A big thank you goes out to Elias Garcia Guevara and Joe Taylor, who sponsor the show at $10 a month at the Wapawet level on Patreon. Please consider donating as well if you can, and thank you all for listening.